To go up there knowing, just based on what we've been told, that he's going to be in that room, it wasn't a, let's end this story. It was more of a, you know what, he's going to blow up, so let's get it over with. But we know that the end is coming for 9/11.
That was Navy SEAL Robert O'Neill, former Navy SEAL, I should say, Robert O'Neill, the man who says he shot Osama bin Laden. Now he's under investigation by the Navy officials, looking into whether he revealed classified information. Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters is a Fox News strategic analyst. Colonel Peters, good to see you.
Good to see you. Merry Christmas. And may I just say one thing, please? At this holiday time, let's all spare a thought for the persecuted Christians of the Middle East who are suffering worse than they ever have in 2,000 years.
All right, Colonel Peters, thank you for that. Now, lots of strife in the SEAL community over Rob O'Neill deciding to tell his story. You know, I served with SEALs from his command. Many of them are telling me he has been PNG'd from the community. Even those who are his friends say that they don't agree with this decision. But the bottom line is the Navy can do this. They can investigate him.
Yeah, well, let me start out by saying that Robert O'Neill, while in uniform, did far more for our country than I ever did. So that's a given. However, nothing he did gives him the right to compromise classified information or operational tradecraft. You just don't do it. Now, the Navy investigation will decide whether or not he compromised classified information. Let's wait and see what the outcome is. But other SEALs are mad about two things. One, the tradecraft, the techniques, how you do it. You just don't talk about it. It's a code within the community, and a sensible one. Throughout special ops, that you don't give away how you do stuff. The other code I think the SEALs are bothered by is they feel he's hot-dogging. And there's also a code of silence within the special ops community. Now, the SEALs have all these special operators, Army Rangers, Delta Force, SEALs, Special Forces, they're tribes, and they have their own tribal atmospheres and cultures. The SEALs have had trouble with people going public and thumping their chest before, but most SEALs aren't like that. Most SEALs are silent warriors doing some of the toughest work our nation has ever asked of anyone, and so naturally they don't like it when somebody kind of blows their cover. So the resentment is understandable. Let's wait and see what the investigation says.
All right, well, this is a man who spent most of his adult life serving our country. He has 2 Silver Stars, 5 Bronze Stars, certainly more than I ever did in my career as well. So thank you for pointing that out, sir. But, you know, the question now is, he said that he did it for the families of 9/11 victims. So how do you respond to that?
Oh, that's crap. Look, you know, we at Fox have to be honest and scrupulous. And, you know, when Edward Snowden dumped classified information, we were all over him. And deservedly so. He did a great disservice to our country. But we can't pick and choose. When somebody else is alleged to have compromised classified information, you can't suddenly say, well, that's okay because he served in uniform. You know, he did not have, Robert O'Neill does not have declassification authority. And you know, there's a word that's very unfashionable in our society, but still we in the military still cling to it. And that's the word honor. And honor means that when you take an oath not to compromise classified material to which you are privileged to have had access, you honor that oath. When you have a code within a unit, like the SEALs or Delta Force, not to talk about tradecraft and what you've done, you honor that code. And I know honor is terribly unfashionable, but some of us still take it seriously.
Now, Rob O'Neill says that he did not disclose any classified information, but, you know, you and I both know, having been operators and also having served in intelligence, as we both did, that the military would say it takes more than one person to assess what would constitute giving away secrets or giving away how we do our tactics. How do you respond to that?
Well, two things. One, let's wait and see what the investigation decides. I do believe it will be fair. But the other thing is this. Look, I've been doing media since I retired in 1998. I've written countless columns, dozens of books, and I have never compromised any classified information. It's tempting because you know stuff that everybody'd like to know. You could make a big splash, but you don't do it because it's dishonorable.
And Colonel Peters, just quickly to kind of wrap things up, sorry to interrupt here, but I do want to get this out. You know, in your perspective, many will wonder, what can the military do because he's retired?
Well, I am not a military lawyer, but he can be recalled to active duty. There are various approaches, but you know, the military, this is not a witch hunt. I don't believe that for a moment. But I believe there are issues of good order and discipline. And you cannot let people at a very junior level, despite all his great service, decide that they're the declassification authority.
All right. And so,
when you pledge to keep secrets, you keep the secrets.
All right. And so just to point out, some would say that the administration started this whole thing by allowing people to find out that this was a Navy SEAL team that executed that raid. Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.